A human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. You know, despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Biafran golden child. A man who was there during the Biafran War. A man who was a child during the Biafran War. A man who had kwashoko during the Biafran War. Biafran golden child today will lay down his analysis of the current events happening in that Republic. Today's title is We Shall Never Forget Again. Without saying much, I want to present to you the Biafran golden child. Thank you.
I want to make a brief comment about the story that went rife. It went viral on Thursday, the 13th of June, 2024. Yes, it went rife. The story went viral through the social media, and it was widely reported that Nnamdi Kanu, the chieftain of the Biafra agitation, that he escaped from the DSS custodies with his case files and all that. They said he fled, and there was suspicion that possibly they were inside. They were inside manipulations and knowledge and assistance to get him out. Insiders probably within the DSS itself, and his lawyers and loyalists to Biafra, that they might have put heads together and brought him out. But I just want to say here, in as much as the facts have not fully emerged, in as much as no daily newspaper has announced it, in as much as the federal government has not told us if Nnamdi Kanu is still in their custody or not. I want to say at this point that Nnamdi Kanu knows the organization he leads. He knows the nature of the people he stands for. He knows that the Igbo man is not a petty-minded fellow. The Igbo man, is a man of integrity. The Igbo man is a man who projects himself with every level of seriousness. The Igbo man recalls his history in this country, especially between 1966, to 1970. We all realize the pogrom, on the Igbo people when they failed the coup of 1966. How the whole Nigeria, particularly in the northern region, decided to annihilate every Igbo man they saw. The Igbo man know what we went through within that 1966, between 1967 and 1970. Close to over 1 million lives and had been taken, in Igbo land. Biafran lives, Igbo people. So an Igbo man who is aware of this kind of history, who knows how his people suffered, and eventually we entered into a Biafran war, civil war, where the authorities made every effort to destroy and totally annihilate every Igbo man in the world. I mean, through economic, they blocked the seaports, they blocked everywhere. They left Igbo people to die. If you don't die out of gunshots, if you don't die out of their bombing, if you don't die out of the shootings going on, then of course you die out of hunger. Children develop pot bellies overnight because of no access to protein. People were dying. The whole world was watching. So every Igbo man who knows the history that happened between 1966 to 1970 would never abdicate his responsibilities, would never seek for a cheap solution, especially in the person of Nnamdi Kanu, who knows that he's at the vanguard, of a very important revolution. Who knows that he's wearing the mantle on his neck is not a child's play. He knows that Demo Dumugwe Ojukwu, the Ikemba Nnewi, the godfather of Biafra, was a man of his words, was a man of integrity, was a man who stood his ground in any situation. And so Nnamdi Kanu, who is, revered as, the leader, of Biafra, knows that if he jumps from DSS custody, if for any reason he escapes, he has jettisoned every respect, due to his name. He has jettisoned every recognition given to a man who has played such important roles in the history of this country. He knows that if he jumps from bail, he puts the Biafran, revolution in jeopardy. He knows he couldn't do that. Of course, everybody knows he's innocent. Of course, he has been going to court every time they want him to come. Of course, even the DSS, even the government, they have brought in so many charges, trumped up charges upon charges, and yet none of them. He has never been convicted. So we are all clamoring for his release. The international communities are calling for his release. So why will he want to run? Biafrans are behind him. The Igbo people are behind him. The law is on his side because he's innocent. Because he's talking for a people who have been marginalized in this country. He's talking for a people who at one point were regarded as just a point in a decimal point. People who were seen as nobody. People who were seen as a wasted generation. People who were seen as only good to be wiped out. And to be like they should be cleansed, like a sort of cleansing. Nigerians were trying to cleanse themselves from the Igbo people, like what happened to the Jews of old in Germany. But it's just unfortunate. So, but I believe Nnamdi Kanu would not subscribe to such a cheap attempt. He would never escape because he knows he's able. The man who is our prime minister today, who is standing for him at any point in time, even in custody, our PM, Simon Ekpa, who knows that Mr. Nnamdi Kanu can never do such, an undignifying lie. I wait further explanations. I wait further research. We are waiting for further information. Possibly by now, by tomorrow, thereabout, we'll know what the situations are. But I can beat my chest and say, no, I see this beyond the Nnamdi Kanu. He would never subscribe to such a cheap solution. No, because almost at hand. Solution is almost at hand. Victory is almost at hand. Freedom is almost at hand. Why escape? It doesn't work that way. We know the Nelson Mandela experience. He never escaped from prison. He never abandoned his, no matter the hardship, no matter the indecent treatments. No, he was there. And at last, he came out. And to God be the glory. From prison, he became the first black president of South Africa. And so history becomes. Nnamdi Kanu knows that history becomes. History is calling on him. Nobody knows what may happen. But we are fully assured that with, the consistent and continuous encouragement from our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa that December 30th that we will be having our Biafran Republic declared, that December 30th 2024, and so we are looking forward to that date. I don't think Nnamdi Kanu will want to truncate this opportunity by jumping bail or escaping, so that aspersions will be thrown on the way of the Biafran people, the Biafran people. So I believe and I pray that he would still be in the custody of the DSS until, he's fully, uh, 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 released, because we know his hands are innocent. We know he has not committed any offense. In fact, even the process of his arrest and extradition to Nigeria was illegal. It was illegal, very, very illegal. The whole world has condemned it. So why run from, why escape? Yes. So we wish him well, and I believe in a few days' time we will know our dignified leader Nnamdi Kanu is hale and hearty, in DSS custody and awaiting his full freedom, where the whole Biafrans will come out and celebrate him, because indeed he's a leader of the Biafran movement. He's indeed the leader of the Biafran people. He has put so much into it. He has sacrificed so much. Every Igbo man is behind him. Every Biafran person is behind him. All international community, the countries worldwide are behind him, because you don't just go and, arrest a man, smuggle him, kidnap him. In fact, the Nigerian government should have been charged with kidnapping. The international court should have dealt with them since. But let's see how it goes. I mean, the justice can be denied. It can never be delayed. I'm confident, our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is within the DSS custody, and this is just an attempt to blackmail him and cast negative aspersions on the Biafra movement. Yes, we're looking towards the declaration of Biafra. Yeah, thank you so much for those two comments. Yes, so now I want to talk briefly about this topic. I mean, even though I've really taken a bit of time on these two other issues that emanated within the week. I mean, the issue of the magnificent fall of President Ahmed Tinubu on Nigerian so-called Democracy Day, and this rumored escape of our dear leader Nnamdi Kanu, which I know is a big lie, and well, let's call it a rumor for now, until more facts emerge and vindicate his probity. Yes. Right. So never again, I said, never again. We will never forget. Yes. Let me just make this quote. An Igbo proverb tells us that a man who does not know where the rain began to beat him cannot say where he dried his body. I mean, if you don't know where the rain, began to beat you, you cannot say where, your body got dried up. And so that is the history of the Igbo man. I mean, a lot of people have come to me and they're asking me, why are you talking about Biafra? Why are you making such, I mean, you're talking with such passion, you're talking with such, vibrancy. I mean, don't you know that Biafra is never going to be a reality? Don't you know it's a mirage? Don't you know that this Biafra thing, I mean, I don't know why do you want it? Why do you talk about it? It should have been the thing of the past. It is a thing of the past. Even OJUKWU at the point, he came back into this country and he was fully accommodated. He was fully rehabilitated into the Nigerian system. And when he came, that he didn't vote even for his father, his brother, Nnamdi Azikiwe of the MPP. He gave his vote to MPN. These same people are telling me that's a show, and they signed that Dumegu OJUKWU had completely forgotten about Biafra. Why are you bringing it up again? Why is Simon Ekpa talking about declaring a Biafran Republic come December 2024? Why is Nnamdi Kanu still passionate about it to the extent, of being arrested? I mean, because of Biafra. What are you guys talking about Biafra for? Let it go and let it be a forgotten dream. Yes, and I told them, unfortunately, the Igbo man and those of us who saw what happened to our brethren between 1966 to 1970, we know how we suffered. We know how our parents suffered. We know how our grandfathers suffered. We know what happened to this people you call Biafra. We know how everybody in the southeastern region was subjected to complete, destruction, so to speak. I mean, people were out to kill them. I know how when I remember how my mother almost died because she heard about the news, she heard the news that her father, was decapitated. The man was, beheaded in Calabar, unfortunately. In Calabar, during the 67 crisis. He was beheaded. People pointed at him, that man is Igbo. And they grabbed him and beheaded him in the full glare of his little daughter, my mom's younger sister. I mean, how harrowing, how traumatic. What a big blow to the memory of that young lady who stood there with the father inside their house. You know, they were about taking a meal, and from nowhere, people ran into this place. Nigerian soldiers, the Hausas, you know, they ran in and said, "Is that the man?" And somebody pointed at him. Yes, it's Igbo man. You know, because my paternal grandfather, you know, could speak. He was a polyglot, Nigerian polyglot. He could speak languages. He could speak Yoruba. He could speak the Hausa. In fact, you know, he has matters of Ibibio and Efik. You know, but you know, they pointed him out and said, "That is him. He's an Igbo man." And in front of the young daughter, a young lady, you know, my mom's immediate junior sister, you know, he was beheaded and slaughtered like a ram. So when you come from such a background, when you see people who, you know, pregnant people, pregnant women whose tummies were dissected, you know, when you see young girls who were packed into a truck, you know, raped and gang raped, you know, multiple times, and then eventually killed. When you see old men, you know, old and elderly, you know, they grab them together and begin to shoot them for no apparent reason other than sheer wickedness and hatred. When you see children, you know, brought up and the knives are used to cut them limb by limb, as if, I don't know, as if they were trying to do a sort of a biological analysis. They were cutting them limb by limb. You can imagine how painful it was. If somebody had been shot, it's a different one. You could just die out front. But when you are being cut, one hand, the next hand, the leg, this leg, head, ear, and all that. I mean, it was the highest level of wickedness. It was the highest level of wickedness, man-to-man wickedness. There's no justification for it. And so when you saw a lot of children who died, the children who grew up expecting to grow into something important in tomorrow. But what did they do? They all died because of why? There was, you know, a protein deficiency. I mean, they had no access to protein. Children were having tummies pot bellied, and people were thinking, what could be happening to these children? The truth about it is that they died. They died. Kwashoko killed them. There was no protein. Even the food that was coming was meager, you know. And you watch these people, over 300,000 children, you know, dying from unnecessary war. I mean, wickedness, you know. I don't know what the Nigerians had in mind. You know, people said that they wanted to exterminate the whole of the Igbo land, make sure there was no person there. Possibly by the time they had killed the whole Igbo, maybe they will sow salts all over eastern Nigeria so that nothing will grow there and there will be nothing like Igbo land. But of course, God knows better. The Lord we serve knows better. And so when you consider some of these things that happened to the Igbo man, no, never again, we don't want it anymore. We will never forget it. How can you say we should forget Biafra? How can you say we should forget about it and intertwine, intermingle, and fully be integrated with Nigeria? Has Nigeria acted in a way that will welcome us? The 3 R's of General Yakubu Gowon after the war, you know, reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reconstruction. Where did he take us to? Where did he take the Igbo man to? What was given to the Igbo man? Out of your wealth, no matter what you had in your bank, you are given 20 pounds. And you say we should forget it? Never again, we will never forget. How much were the Igbo man given? 20, go out and die. Starve and die with your children. You know, what happened to us? Our lands, our buildings that we left, anywhere we lived, the Igbo man lived before in Nigeria. Whether in Port Harcourt, whether in Lagos, whether at Ibadan, what happened to it? The people of those states took over it. They took over, the people of that region took over this. And when the Igbo man went to his property, he was told it's not yours. Look at the new owner. Land, yes. Look at the new owner. You know. And so, it's just unfortunate. How are we going to forget? Never again, we will never forget. What are we going to forget? Our mothers that were killed, our daughters that were taken into slavery. Do you know a lot of girls, a lot of ladies were kidnapped? You know, if they were not killed, they were kidnapped and forcefully taken to the north, forcefully taken to other regions where they were forced to become slaves and concubines. You know, because of course they did not dignify them to become wives. They either made them slaves or they made them concubines, sex objects, prostitutes, to satisfy their sexual urges. And these ladies, when they had children, The children were regarded as bastards. That's why today you see so many children bearing Igbo names, even inside the north, and you're wondering who is your father, who is your mother, and they're looking at you and as if they don't know what they're doing. These were children whose mothers were kidnapped, ladies kidnapped and forcefully, turned to concubines and prostitutes, unfortunately. So how are we going to forget this? Never again, my brother. We will never forget. How can we forget Biafra? You said OJUKWU came back. Yes, he came as a Nigerian. Yeah, he came as an African. Of course, he has to stay in his country. Of course, he has to come back here. Yeah, because of course, this was his country before 1967. He was a legally, legitimately working army officer of high rank. Yes, of course, this is his country. He came, but Nigeria changed towards us. Unfortunately, from 1967, they changed. I mean, what do you want us to do? When the people say they don't hate you, when a community say that a country ganged up against you, a group of people gang up against your people, what are you going to do? It is only a tree that stays at a place when it hears that it's going to be cut. It's only a tree that stays at one place and you come and cut it. No, but as a human being, of course. Demo OJUKWU. Yes, they came by Newi. He knew what he was doing. He said, no, my people can never. I will never be alive and watch my people perish like chickens. No, it is not right. We went to Aburi. On Aburi we stand, Aburi Accord. Yes, we told the Nigerian government, this is our plan, this is this, this is that. Let us cohabit peacefully, but this is what we want. And General Gowon reneged on it. I mean, so what do you want me to do? Let my people die? No, he did it. But when he saw, when OJUKWU, saw what was happening, how they used the starvation as a tool to kill the Biafran people, OJUKWU had to stop the war because the Nigerian government was determined to wipe out the entire population of the Igbo. Today, the Nigerian government employs subtle tactics, yes, called Ruga, to starve its citizens to death and to cause famine in all the regions, destroying their farmlands, So what do we mean by this Ruga thing that came up? I mean, you tell Fulani herdsmen to move their cattle. They can move from everywhere to anywhere, And as they're moving, they're entering people's farmlands, destroying them, killing them, eating them. When people protest, they are killing them and completely burning down their settlements. I mean, look at Nigeria now. We're suffering from food starvation, scarcity of food. Food prices have gone haywire because the foods are not available. Why is it not available? Because the terrorists are on, No, when somebody considers what is happening in this country, I mean, when you know what happened to the Igbo people, we shouldn't be shy of it. Nobody should tell us to forget Biafra. Nobody should tell us to give up on our aspirations for the Biafra kingdom, Biafra Republic, because the Igbo man has seen a lot, and everything happening in Nigeria now is a mere, make believe. I mean, even the so-called creation of state are trying to give Igbo man another state now. Somebody was telling me you should be happy. You are getting another state now, as if it's only, even when they create this state, it's not only one state that is being created. You'll be surprised another state will go to the north, or two even to the northeast. You'll be surprised a state may be given to the southwest, or two again. The state may be given to, it's just to placate. They want to give them a state. We are hoping to give you a state more. You should be happy. Oh, come on. They shouldn't be treating the Igbo man as if, he's one, non-entity who does, who awaits anything given to him. We're not there. We are independent-minded. We are people of integrity. We are doers and shakers. We are movers. The Igbo man is by nature very, active and very productive. We don't want things given to us on a platter as if we are giving it to, we would like to get it ourselves. And so, for those who are advising that we forget the Biafra thing, I mean, we should let it go. Let me just repeat again. Never again. We will never forget it. We will never forget about our Biafran dream. We'll never forget about our Biafran Republic because we have put so much into it. Our leaders have done everything they can. And it's just about now that the dividends are coming in. We are looking forward to the end of the year, by 30th of December, when our Prime Minister would declare Biafra, a republic, and then every Igbo man would, celebrate. We are looking forward to the international community this time, unlike what they did during 67, to 1970. when they turned their eyes to the right. When US turned its eyes to the right, Britain turned its eyes to the right, and they refused to look at what was happening in Nigeria. They refused, to support Biafra. They refused to acknowledge that Biafra was being maltreated. The Igbo man was being maltreated. I mean, this is a community that's made up of equal partners: the northern region, the southern region, the eastern region, the western region. And all of a sudden, other groups clamored, they conspired and began to destroy one of the regions. And Britain, of all people, who is, our colonial masters, they turned their eyes the other way. They were supplying Nigeria with arms and ammunition, giving them jets and, every kind of weapons of, destruction to destroy its own citizens. I don't think, let me not, I don't want to say that the British people will not be sleeping with two eyes, because that was sheer wickedness. That was man's inhumanity to man. That is, I think they should be tried alongside the Nigerian government of that time, for, proclaiming such a pogrom against, an innocent people. I mean, Russia was with them, giving them latest sophisticated weapons, to attack a simple people. People who were saying, no, don't hit our people, don't kill our people, don't shoot our people unnecessarily. If you're talking about the Nigerian Civil War, yes, it's not, I mean, the coup, the so-called fake coup wasn't an Igbo coup. We don't know about it. These are innocent people. Let them go about their business safely. Those who are in positions of higher authority, they merited it. They got it by merit. Nobody gave it to them on a platter of gold. I mean, leave our people, let our people be. If you don't want us, then let us go. I mean, the United Nations, it is fully aware that at any point in time, any community, any set of people have a right, to self-govern themselves, have a right to move, integrate themselves as a community if they don't feel they belong again, to the existing country. I mean, it has happened in several parts of the world. Why should Biafra own be different? Unfortunately, we were sabotaged even by people within ourselves. And so when you tell us to forget Biafra, let it go. No, it can't be let go. The heart is inside. Some of us bear psychological traumas that are embedded in us, that are inside us deep down, that we can never forget. Yes, we can forget, but we will never forgive. No. Let me turn that again. Let me rephrase it. We can forgive. Yes, we are forgiven. We are forgiven, yes, but we'll never forget. The Biafra people suffered a lot. Our ancestors, our grandfathers, our fathers, our mothers, suffered a lot. People died in Biafra land, over 1 million Igbos killed, and you say we should forget it? Never. Never. We're not going to forget it. Never. But we know it will never give them anybody a chance anymore. No, we are doing it peacefully. We are moving our own. We are saying, give us our peace. Let us move to our Biafran land. Come December, when our Prime Minister declares it, to God be the glory. For those of us alive then, we will celebrate and say, yes, this is what our parents fought for. This is what our mothers died for. This is what the children, over 400,000 children, who were malnourished, underfed, and who had no access to protein whatsoever. These children died in their pot belly. And people made caricatures of them, showed pictures of them, and described them as I read somewhere where somebody was saying they wanted to study if this was a new species in human development, as a sort of mockery of the Biafran child. But today we thank God, the average Igbo man is still doing well, despite 20 pounds that was given to him. We are still doing well. We don't need government money. We have moved, built industries, built factories. We have gone around the world. We have attained positions of authority everywhere. Our women, our men, oh my God. Should I mention names? Biafran names? Biafran people of Eastern region who have surpassed every expectation. Even in the World Bank, do I mention a name? In literary circles, do I mention names? And we know the Lord is with us. They will know we are going to do exploits and better exploits when we are allowed to be in our own territory, allowed to be in our own republic. And that is why we must all clamor once again, and support, our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, in his bid to declare the Biafran Republic come December. I read over the week too. I think that was on Tuesday or so. Was it on Tuesday of this week when the directorate of what's his name? The director in charge of military headquarters, One somebody Musa, he was saying that he was calling on the Finnish authorities, the European authorities, to arrest Frank Ekpa. That he has caused so much problem. He has been he's preaching sedition, he's all threat and counter threats to Nigeria and all that. Ministry of Defense also, Defense Headquarters, yes, said they should arrest Simon Ekpa, calling on Finnish authorities from Finland, from Europe, that the man should be, arrested and given to Nigeria to come and face charges here. I think that statement is highly unfortunate. You are calling for arrest of a man who is doing his legitimate, business. A man who is doing his legitimate, who is doing what he's supposed to be doing for his people. A man who is conscious of the history of his past, and he wants to better it for the future. A man who knew where the rain started beating him, and he knows, of course, where it's going to dry on him. I mean, you're calling for his arrest on what basis? The trumped up charges you've pounded on the person of our leader Nnamdi Kanu, you cannot prove it in any court of law. I mean, despite having kidnapped him, from Kenya, despite having kept him, in your custodies for how many months, how many years now, and yet you cannot, convict him. And you are now calling for Frank, for our Prime Minister, Frank Ekpa, to be arrested. I mean, these guys are really funny. But I thank God the international community, I think they have wisened up. This was not 1967. This was not 68. This was not 69, when Britain caused all the world to turn their eyes the other way and watch Igbo land suffer. I think now everybody is aware that, what they are doing in Nigeria is illegal. What they are doing in a country called Nigeria is unfair. I mean, why should a set of people, why should the Eastern region be selected, be isolated and, kept from growing as it should? Why should a set of people not be given opportunity, to seek for the highest stake in the land? I mean, the political office. Why should they be regarded as, a second fiddle? I mean, why should everything about them be second class? You want to give them a state while others have, the northeast has 7, the south west has 6 states. You confine them to 5, and now you want to make it 6, and you think they should all kneel down and beg you. I mean, they should kneel down or begin to dance so you clap for them. I mean, this is not fair. The international community are aware of the injustices, of the wickedness, of the mass killings that were done to this region between 1967 to 1970. And so nobody would arrest Frank Ekpa. Nobody would charge him for sedition, because of course everything he's saying is a reality, is an unfortunate reality in eastern Nigeria. We will never forget what happened to us. We will never forget how our people were killed. We will never forget how our people, were deported back to pressed into the bush. We will never forget how they came, killed our people, burnt our houses. We will never forget how, they killed our women. We will never forget how our houses that were abandoned in every other region we lived in Nigeria was taken from us between 1967 and 1970. We will never forget how just 20 pounds was given to you, no matter how many millions you had in your account. I mean, is that not a passport to starvation, to death? Family men with children, you give them 20 pounds. Oh, it's a sad one. But I thank God. Nigerians thought they had gotten us. They thought they had finished us. But here we are today, resilient, everly, increasing. We have overcome every norm, economic norm, every expectation. They would never make it. They will continue to be like slaves. No, today we stand out. Captains of industries, leaders in every ramification of life. To their shame, they see us buying their properties. To their shame, they see us building massive houses here and there, factories, industries. And that is how it will be as soon as we get into our, Biafran Republic. We're looking forward to it come December. We're looking forward to it. God sparing our lives. We know Nnamdi Kanu, will come out. There will be freedom for him any moment soon, because they cannot convict him. We know Frank, our Prime Minister, Frank Ekpa, is, capable. He is capable intellectually, physically, mentally, and internationally. He is capable to lead us to the promised land. Yes. So once again, we will never forget what happened to us. And we are saying never again we will give this a chance. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Lugard, Bloomington, Lord Lugard, and it's Wild Flora Show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, OJUKWU, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.